Today I'm making meatloaf. I'm actually right now chopping up a purple onion. I'm going to be putting the meatloaf inside of a bundt pan. I never tried this before, but I just got the idea. I'm sure it's been done before, but I never did it. So I just got the idea, just kind of like I was going to make meatloaf, and I'm like, hey, I wonder how it would come out in a bundt pan. You know, the pattern of a bundt pan, if it'll be round and easy for me to slice. So I'm going to try. And after I had that idea, I kind of looked on YouTube, and I seen a couple of people that did it, but it's not a lot. Now, if you hear TV in the background, my kids yelling, saying stuff or doing something, hey, they haven't went back to school. Okay. My camera kind of fell, but like I was saying, they haven't went back to school yet, so you're going to hear it. So, like I said, I'm just chopping up a purple onion, and I normally would mix this up by hand, but I'm being lazy during the week. I really don't feel like cooking, but I need to cook. So I'm going to cook. And I'm going to try to kill two birds with one stone, since I'm turning on my oven and it's hot as hell in Texas. I have a box red velvet cake that I've been wanting to make. It's been so hot, so I'm going to do a 2-for-1. So I'm like, hey, I'm turning on the oven anyway. Why not turn on the oven and put both of them in? They're both going in a bundt pan and go from there. Lord, I know this weekend I'm going to be a very busy mom, last minute details before the kids go back to school. So that is what I'm going to be catching up on. We were busy at work, not too bad. Our last patient, I think, was around, I want to say maybe these are some crackers that I'm just going to crunch up. I want to say our last patient was around 2:30 today. I want to say that. Just crunching these up. Adding to there. I got 2 eggs in this bowl. 1, 2. I'm going to add to that. The seasoning that I'm going to use is some accent. And I'm not going to put that much seasoning on it because I am going to make a glaze to go on top. And that's going to have plenty of seasoning in it. So I'm going to say about that much of accent. I got some onion powder. Some steak seasoning. A little of the adobo. Just a little. And I also am going to be using some Worcestershire sauce. Can I say that? But I'm going to be using a couple of splashes of those in there. And yes, I'm mixing it inside of my mixer because I don't feel like mixing it with my hands. Being lazy today. Oh. the noise this is hamburger meat. And I have to make sure everything is mixed well. And I know I'm looking a little rough. I did not too long ago be off work. So I'm trying to put all this in the oven. And all this done. I'm just moving it around so I can mix better. Okay. So I'm gonna finish mixing this. I'm gonna finish mixing this up. Once I get it in the pan, I'll be back to show you what it looks like. I tried to fit my meatloaf in the bundt pan and it was just too much meatloaf. So I'm gonna have to try that next time. But what I do have in the bundt pan is my red velvet cake. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these two things in the oven. My cake is gonna take maybe 36, 37 minutes. My meatloaf is a little longer, so I don't have to open the oven. That is the trick. So I'm gonna let this cook along with this. And while that's cooking, I'm going to be putting on some Italian cut green beans. So stay tuned for that. So don't mind my coffee. That was from this morning before I went to work. But while my meatloaf and cake is in the oven, I am going to cook my rice. This rice cooker I got from Walmart, just a simple rice cooker. It clicks to warm once it's done, but it makes about 4 quarts of rice, which is perfect for my family. So I'm going to let that cook, and I'm going to wash those dishes. Yes, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so these are the Italian green beans. I added garlic. I'm going to use some onion powder. What's the rest of that onion powder? I'm going to be using a little of the chicken bouillon, just a little. And I'm going to be using some accent. Alright, I'm going to let that simmer on low, and then once the seasoning start cooking in, then I'm going to add some butter. Okay, this is the meatloaf. It's done. I did kind of cut it already and slice it. The liquid you see is the glaze that I use, and I'm going to put that over the meatloaf and the rice, and these are the finished green beans. So yeah, and that's the icing I'm going to be using for my cake. But yeah, so once I serve up the plates, I'll show you what those look like. Okay, underneath is my cake is cooling before I icing it. This is my daughter's plate. She's not going to eat a lot because she just, off when I fix the boys' plate, you'll see the difference. But she has 2 pieces of meatloaf with the sauce on it. She's just going to break it up in her rice and then green beans. So yeah, that is her plate.